This is Movie Masterpiece Series 658. US item number 911371. 1/6 figure. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The Amazing Spider-Man. Made in China. Hot Toys logo. Here is the merchandise inside. Now, I don't know the logistics of the contract that Andrew Garfield signed to be in Spider-Man No Way Home, but the packaging to his figure that appears in that movie is not the same as Tobey Maguire's and Tom Holland's figures are. And also, the head sculpt is not his likeness as he appeared in that movie. With that being said, this is the movie logo to The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The top of the box says The Amazing Spider-Man 1/6 scale collectible figure. Here is the illustration of Spider-Man. It says The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Pause it and read that. Movie Masterpiece logo. Hot Toys logo. Here's what the side of the box looks like. Has some lightning down here because Electro was in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Other side of the box looks the same with some lightning on this side. Here's what the back of the box looks like. You get a Disney hologram sticker here at the bottom. Let's remove the slipcover. Here's the figure inside the box. The clamshell has an insert tray of an assortment of hands like all Spider-Man figures do. Here's the instruction booklet at the bottom of the packaging. Here's the figure and all its contents. You get a hooded mask. You get the assortment of webs that all Spider-Man figures come with. An Andrew Garfield Peter Parker head sculpt, which is what he looked like in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Not what he looked like in Far From Home. And this is a new body mold. This is not the same mold from Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is a new body from the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in Far From Home. And here are the instructions for the figure. The same as all Spider-Man figures. How to insert the head, how to insert the webs, the proper hand to use to hold the mask. Don't pull on the ankles, you could damage the figure. And instructions on the figure stand. Speaking of the stand, here it is. Amazing Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, and the Spider-Man logo. And here is the pole to insert inside of the stand to hold the figure. Here is the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man figure from No Way Home. Here's his head sculpt. He has black web lines that lay on top of the red. There's his Spider-Man logo. The blue and red. He has the same problem that the color red on his hand does not match the sleeve. And also his sleeve doesn't seem to go all the way to the bottom. Raised web lines on the feet. Look at the bottom of his feet. It is black. A nice simple design. And here's a noticeable thing. He does not have any toe articulation here either. That is very strange. As you can see, he does have ankle tilts and you do not see any bunching. That is very good. Let's look at the back of the figure. The head sculpt seems nice. The red logo on the back, very nice. Raised webbing on the boot. Raised webbing on the arms. It is a nice figure. One of the critiques of this figure is that they say that the eye lens is supposed to be white instead of this gray. Here are his web shooters on the inside of his wrists. Now let's run down the hands that he comes with. Of course, you have the closed fists, web crawling hands, open grabbing hands, of course, web shooting hands, the new pointing hands, two web holding hands, and the peace sign. Let's put on those web shooters. Now let's take off the Spidey head sculpt. That's what the connector looks like. Let's connect the Andrew Garfield head sculpt that it comes with. Now that's what he looked like in the last film he was in, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. He is much older now. That is not the likeness of what he looked like in Far From Home. What I do like about the head sculpt is that it has a neck piece that has skin on it, so it looks like it's supposed to look like in the movie. Now you can remove the head sculpt. As you can see, it has a small black ball joint. So I decided to get a head sculpt of Andrew Garfield of his likeness in the movie No Way Home. So I got one from RCN Studios. You can pause the video and read the serial number here. Now this head sculpt was not cheap. It cost me $111.36. And I paid for it on September 7th, 2023. And I got it on January 9th, 2025, a year and 4 months later. Now I was really nervous because I kept emailing them and they would tell me it was delayed. It was delayed. So I thought they were going to steal my money. But RCN Studios did deliver on their promise. On a side note, I ordered a Joaquin Phoenix in art Joker from Toys Wonderland on February 7th, 2024. And I think they went out of business and I have not been able to get in contact with them. If anyone has any info that can help me, I would appreciate it. Anyway, back to the video. And here is the likeness of Andrew Garfield as he appeared in No Way Home. It is a current and updated, older Andrew Garfield, how he looks now. It's a very good head sculpt. Let's compare it to the head sculpt that comes with the Hot Toys figure, the older and younger Andrew Garfield. So I took out the ball joint from that head sculpt and put it into the RCN Studios head sculpt. Then you can connect it to the neck piece. FYI, the skin on the RCN head sculpt matches the skin on the Hot Toys head sculpt. Now that is a great likeness of the Andrew Garfield Peter Parker head sculpt from No Way Home. Let's connect it onto the body. Now that's an accurate depiction of what Andrew Garfield looked like as Peter Parker in No Way Home. And it makes the Hot Toys figure now complete. Now this is what the Hot Toys figure should have looked like. I spent the extra money because I liked the movie so much that I wanted to get the figure and have it look as accurate as possible. Now to do a 360 of the figure, it looks seamless and perfect. The Andrew Garfield Far From Home Spider-Man figure is just under 11 3/4 inches tall. He is one of the taller Spider-Man figures because Andrew Garfield is taller than Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire. And here are all three with their Spidey head sculpts on, all different. Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire. There's Peter 1, Peter 2, and Peter 3. And here they are from the back. You can see their distinctive web logos and the web line on top for Andrew Garfield, for Tobey Maguire, and for Tom Holland. You can see their differences in their boot cuts, in the shape of their suits. Andrew Garfield is thinner here. There, Tobey Maguire's is much wider, a more stylized one. All three Hot Toys Far From Home Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire as he appeared in the film, Andrew Garfield as he appeared in the film, and Tom Holland as he appeared in the film. Each with their different spider logos. Tobey Maguire's web lines are silver and lay on top of the red. Andrew Garfield's web lines are black and lay on top of the red. And Tom Holland's web lines are black and are woven into the red. And to be accurate, this wasn't the costume that Tom Holland had when they were fighting the villains. This is the costume he had at the very end of the film when he made a new suit inspired by the suits of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Spider-Man Far From Home was a great film. I wound up loving it, which is why I decided to buy all three of these figures. So that is my review of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man from No Way Home by Hot Toys. Hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next review.